Imagine scrolling past ICP because the price doesn't look impressive. What if everything you think about its value is missing the bigger picture? Behind the numbers lies a network quietly reshaping the future of the internet. From cryptographic breakthroughs to full-scale applications running entirely on-chain, ICP is building technology most investors haven't fully noticed. In this video, we go beyond the chart to uncover the real story: how ICP's architecture, developer momentum, and ecosystem growth could redefine what long-term value looks like in Web3. Price is only one piece of the puzzle. What really matters is the foundation being built today for the decentralized internet of tomorrow. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, the way you see ICP and its potential will look completely different. This video is created for educational and informational purposes only. It does not promote or endorse any financial product, investment, or cryptocurrency. All information presented here is based on publicly available sources and independent analysis. Viewers are encouraged to conduct their own research before making any financial or technological decisions. The price of ICP creates a misleading first impression. Many people scroll past it because the chart doesn't match the dramatic expectations that surrounded its launch. That surface-level judgment hides the deeper story of a project building one of the most advanced blockchain architectures in the industry. This script uncovers what the market isn't seeing. It explains the technology most investors overlook, the real applications already running on the internet computer, the burn rate that reduces long-term supply, and the developer momentum quietly shaping ICP's future. If price has been the only lens, this perspective changes everything. When ICP entered the market, excitement was extremely high. The early spike created unrealistic expectations that became the only benchmark people focused on. Over time, that single number shaped public perception more than the technology itself. The truth is that price action tells only one small part of the story. Judging ICP solely through its chart is like evaluating a high-performance engine by looking at its fuel tank. It says nothing about the engineering beneath the hood. ICP is a long-horizon infrastructure project, and the market often takes years to properly value foundational technologies. What matters is the progress delivered after the initial hype faded. Through that lens, ICP has shipped upgrades, expanded its ecosystem, and introduced capabilities that very few networks can match. The real engine behind ICP is a technology stack that most investors don't understand. Instead of building on the same structure used by other blockchains, ICP introduced Chain-Key Cryptography, a cryptographic breakthrough that changes how a blockchain scales. Traditional networks slow down as their node count grows because they rely on communication-heavy consensus models. Chain-Key Cryptography removes that bottleneck. It lets the internet computer finalize updates in milliseconds, scale without congestion, and operate as a unified global network across multiple subnets. This allows the system to run large applications directly on-chain without outsourcing anything to centralized servers. Another fundamental piece of the architecture is the canister smart contract model. Smart contracts on most blockchains are small programs built to handle limited logic and store minimal data. They can't operate like real back-end systems. ICP changed that entirely. Canisters act as powerful, scalable software units capable of storing large amounts of data, running complex logic, handling user traffic, and performing like cloud-hosted services. This turns the internet computer into a decentralized alternative to the cloud, where applications no longer need Amazon, Google, or traditional servers. Everything lives on-chain, including data, logic, and user interactions. This architecture doesn't compete with other chains on speed or fees. It competes with the back-end infrastructure of the internet itself. The power of ICP becomes clear when looking at the real applications running today. Entire social platforms operate fully on-chain, not partially. They store content, user data, and back-end logic inside canisters without relying on external hosting. This is something no other major chain currently supports at scale. Game developers are also beginning to migrate to ICP because the network can handle large asset storage, player data, and in-game operations without centralized servers. These systems give players true ownership and remove risk from single-point server failures. Beyond entertainment, enterprise teams exploring areas like identity, supply chain, and secure communication are experimenting with ICP due to its ability to store sensitive data directly on-chain while keeping operational performance intact. Some Web 2 companies have already begun shifting components of their infrastructure onto ICP. They are replacing centralized systems with decentralized hosting for messaging, authentication, and data storage. These early transitions may seem small, but they mark the beginning of a trend. Every workload moved from central servers to canisters strengthens the case for ICP as a next-generation backend. This momentum carries forward into AI, IoT, and large enterprise environments. AI models can run inside canisters and be accessed across chains. IoT devices can communicate directly with the blockchain without intermediaries. Supply chains can secure their records without relying on private servers. ICP's structure fits the needs of industries that require both scalability and trust. While investors focus on short-term price movement, developers focus on capability. ICP continues to ship network upgrades at a pace that sets it apart from many chains. Subnet performance has improved, cryptographic functions have expanded, developer tools have become more refined, and cross-chain integrations are actively progressing. These upgrades aren't cosmetic changes. They enable developers to build larger systems, deploy faster, and access features that previously required external providers. The developer ecosystem has matured through grants, accelerators, hackathons, and growing educational partnerships. Developer retention remains strong, which signals confidence in the network's long-term potential. A major part of ICP's long-term value lies in its tokenomics, particularly the burn mechanism. ICP converts tokens into cycles, the fuel used to run canisters and support computation. Every time a canister performs operations, cycles are consumed and permanently removed from circulation. This creates a natural link between real-world adoption and token deflation. As more applications launch and as traffic increases, the burn rate grows. This is different from chains that burn fees only when transactions occur. ICP burns through sustained computation, which becomes meaningful as ecosystem usage scales. Many investors don't track this burn rate because it isn't reflected directly in the chart, yet it plays a critical role in shaping long-term supply dynamics. The disconnect between ICP's fundamentals and its market price comes from timing. Infrastructure networks often take years before adoption levels generate noticeable economic effects. For ICP, the foundation is already in place. The technology is mature, the ecosystem is expanding, and the burn mechanism steadily reduces supply. As high-traffic applications continue to migrate, the economic impact becomes more visible. Price eventually follows utility, but utility forms first. ICP is in that phase where the groundwork is built, the momentum is growing, and the market hasn't fully recognized it yet. The misconceptions surrounding ICP often come from its launch period. Some people believe the project failed because the price declined sharply after the initial peak. Others think the ecosystem lacks activity because they don't see headlines in mainstream crypto news. These views miss what has happened since. ICP continues to evolve, mature, and expand its real-world capabilities. The long-term vision remains intact. A decentralized internet that runs entirely on-chain, supports large-scale applications, and removes dependence on centralized cloud providers. In the broader arc of Web3 evolution, ICP plays a significant role. The next generation of internet systems requires decentralization, data integrity, secure computation, and seamless scalability. ICP addresses these needs through its architectural design and cryptographic foundation. As the world moves toward decentralized AI, trustless services, and user-owned digital systems, the demand for infrastructure like the internet computer increases. The market may not fully recognize it yet, but the groundwork is already shaping the future of decentralized computing. Looking beyond the chart reveals a different picture of ICP. It shows a project advancing quietly, building technology years ahead of many competitors, and preparing to support the next era of Web3 innovation. Price may fluctuate, but the underlying development is consistent and significant. For anyone watching only the token, it's easy to underestimate what's happening. For anyone paying attention to the technology, the long-term potential becomes clear. The story of ICP isn't written in the current valuation. It's written in the infrastructure being built, the applications going live, the burn rate reducing long-term supply, and the vision of a decentralized internet becoming more real with every upgrade. All right. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.